Felix Gonzalez. Now on to our second contest from San Jose. And here's a familiar, somewhat flabby sight of the former cruiserweight champion of the world, Ossie Occasio. He's now moved up to heavyweight, as you can probably gather from that. Certainly been around an awful long time, Ossie Occasio. Always good value for money. Originally from Puerto Rico. There's Occasio, 34 now, a former champion. Used to call him Jaws, not too appropriate a nickname these days. And this is the man he's up against. A very, very useful heavyweight prospect indeed. From Atlantic City, New Jersey, this is Bruce Seldon. Hasn't lost yet. 12 contests, 12 wins, 10 knockouts. Presumably this is another one of those learning fights for Seldon. And he's up against a crafty old campaigner here, Ossie Occasio. Despite the fact he seems to have been around forever. And, he made his debut in 1976, Occasio. But he's only actually had 37 fights. So he's not too ring-soiled. Won 28 of them, lost 8 of them, 1 draw. But never really been a powerful puncher, even as a cruiserweight. Occasio, just 11 knockouts, certainly since his expanding girth moved him up a division into the heavies. He hasn't really looked like taking anyone out. Bruce Seldon, very physically well defined, good muscle definition. Makes an interesting contrast to the 34-year-old Occasio. That's a snapping left hand. Seldon getting down to business early. Both men in white. It's not too difficult to distinguish between the two of them. Seldon is the one that looks like he's just come out of a Mr. Universe competition. Occasio is the man who looks like he's been a boxer for 14 years. Seen better days at that. He's a crafty old campaigner, old Ossie. If you're a lover of the old timers, you'll probably be rooting for him here against this young whippersnapper, Bruce Seldon from Atlantic City. A man of whom big things are expected. Manager Carmen Graziano on record as saying that Seldon has God-given talents. Lists his reflexes, coordination, punching power and mobility. Good instincts. Certainly got a very quick jab so far. On the evidence we've seen so far, and that's going to be an essential prerequisite of a long and successful career in the heavies. Ossie taking it easy so far. Never really been a quick finisher, Occasio. Certainly in the twilight of his career, he's unlikely to start now. It'll be an interesting test this for Seldon. He's had 12 contests, won a lot. 10 of them have come pretty quickly indeed. But this is the first time he's been matched against an opponent who's been around. Good combination there from Occasio. Just a reminder of former days when he was the WBA cruiserweight champion from 1982 to 84. Beat Robbie Williams in 82. Defended it successfully on 3 occasions, Ossie Occasio. Holds a couple of decisions over Jimmy Young, who was a pretty decent heavyweight there in the early 70s. Young went the distance and almost nicked a decision off Muhammad Ali. And Occasio dispatched him. when admittedly Young had seen better days. Snapping left jab of Seldon's. Ossie's going to have to make sure his reflexes are 100% to keep those out of his face. Round 2. It's scheduled for 8. Bruce Seldon in the black boots. So far, Occasio doing enough to frustrate Bruce Seldon. If Seldon can put this guy away, will certainly serve notice that he's arrived in the heavyweight division. Even at 34, there's not many get rid of Ossie Occasio, leading Occasio's last contest. He went the distance with Terrell Biggs. Good victory that for Biggs, considering the recent run of poor performances he's had since losing to Mike Tyson. Subsequently lost to Francesco Damiani, the WBO champion from Italy. And our own Gary Mason, of course, knocked him out in 7 last year. Gary, of course, still awaiting a decision on his future following his retina trouble. Seldon looking a little confused and perplexed. Don't think he can quite work out this crafty, cagey opponent that he's got in front of him. Good right hand. Occasio took it well. Occasio heard the tap to tell him it was near the end of the round. Prompted a flurry of activity. Can't fight at a flat-out pace these days, can't Ossie? As soon as he hears that tap, telling him there's 10 seconds to go, he starts throwing those punches. So a couple of fairly quiet rounds so far. But Bruce Seldon certainly done enough to win them. And this will be a nice scalp to have. The former WBA cruiserweight champion of the world, 34-year-old Ossie Occasio. He's been in with some good heavyweights in his time as Ossie. He's lost to Evander Holyfield, Michael Dokes, Larry Holmes. Stopped him in 7. Holmes was certainly, in those days, the heavyweight boxer. Back in the early 80s, he reigned supreme. Round 3 then. Bruce Seldon against the man with his back to us, Ossie Occasio. Seldon doing enough in those opening 2 rounds to probably just edge them on the scorecards, but not really doing an awful lot to suggest that we're watching a future world title contender in the making. But Occasio can do that to you. He can frustrate you and make you look very ordinary. break, a little bit overdue. A lot of the power might have gone now from Occasio, but the reflexes are still pretty well intact. That's why he's able to keep going at the age of 34 without getting himself in too much trouble. Tender, obviously, but doesn't get caught by too many either. That's, of course, when your reflexes go, things can start to get a little bit dangerous. Occasio launches a couple of wild swings himself. Neither of them causing any trouble to Bruce Seldon from Atlantic City, the East Coast boxing resort. Near the end of this third round. Looks like another round to Bruce Seldon, but he really hasn't fathomed out the veteran Occasio at all so far. Occasio making him look very ordinary indeed. A big wild swinging right. Ossie ducks under it. Saw it coming a mile away. And by some sixth sense, it looks as if Ossie realises we're coming near the end of the round. I wonder if we'll see another flurry of activity from him. Oh, a big right hand comes in. It's Seldon on the attack. Good little short left. Occasio takes it well. Good snapping left jab. And around 3. And as the fighters take a break, so will we. We'll be back soon. And welcome back for round 4 of this heavyweight contest between Ossie Occasio on the left and Bruce Seldon here at the San Jose Civic Center. And in truth, we're still waiting for this contest to come alive. Occasio, the veteran, playing the role of the spoiler. Seldon, the rookie, 12 fights, 12 wins, 10 of them early, but not looking a killer he's looked so far against this cagey old veteran. Ossie doing enough to stay out of trouble, make sure he doesn't get hurt. Throw a few punches of his own every so often, just to remind Seldon that, yeah, he's been a world champion, he's been there. 6 years ago, since he lost his title, WBA Cruiserweight title, he's moved up a division. He's now a heavyweight in every sense of the word. Seldon. Right uppercut got through. Covers up. A feeble left jab being flicked out by Occasio. Opening up a little bit there. Seldon parried most of that on the gloves and the arms. Those shots won't count. Certainly on the evidence so far, the uppercut. Just saw it again. Good straight right. I was about to say the uppercut. Seems to be the best punch, and a straight right sends Ossie's gum shield flying. Referee takes a timeout. Get it rinsed and replaced. Occasio doesn't seem to be any the worse the wear. That's a jolting straight right from Seldon. Having a bit of success here in the 4th. shot the first one, caught the second one on the glove. Seldon still looking confident. Needs to work that left jab a bit more. It's a very fast jab indeed. And there's the bell for the end of the fourth. Occasio there switched to southpaw briefly at the end there. Perhaps an attempt to confuse the old man. It'll take a bit more than that to confuse Ossie Occasio, although a few more punches like that might just do the trick. And we're into round 7. And it's still Bruce Seldon very much in control of this fight, without ever looking like he's going to dispatch the veteran, former WBA cruiserweight world title holder, Ossie Occasio. He's no stranger to Britain, actually. Ossie came over 9 years ago, fought John L. Gardner, former British and European heavyweight champ, who in those days was being considered as a possible world title contender himself, until he met Michael Dokes, who urged a fairly quick reappraisal of his aspirations. But Ossie couldn't handle John L. that night. Gardner knocked him out in 6. Combinations here from Ossie. Needs to throw a few more of those. So no power in him. Just prompts Seldon to come back and launch an attack of his own. Seldon looking just a little bit frustrated, as well he might. The experience of Occasio has really been the decisive factor in this contest so far. No doubt about who's winning the contest, but Seldon likes to end them early. When you're sharing a ring with a guy like Ossie Occasio, that's a tall order. Occasio is making Bruce Seldon look very ordinary indeed. I don't think Buster Douglas, Vander Holyfield, Mike Tyson and the rest of them need worry about Bruce Seldon for a couple of years on this performance. Occasio lets go a right, brushes past Seldon's chin. Has negligible effect on the youngster from Atlantic City. There we are, we hear the tap to say the last few seconds of the round. And there is the bell. It's the end of the 7th round. You can perhaps tell by the crowd's reaction that they were expecting a little bit more from this newcomer, who came in with a big reputation, but so far hasn't really lived up to it. The manager was billing him as the great new find in the heavyweight scene. Not really, truth be known. But we're in the 8th round, and the last round. Bruce Seldon will be looking for a knockout finish. Old Ossie probably be looking to stay up on his feet, collect his paycheck. He's earned it, 34-year-old. And a little bit of bounce in his step as well, just to let the youngster know he's still got a few rounds left in him. But Seldon, I think, has mentally conceded that he's not going to knock this man out. Do enough work to take the round. Should have won it by a fairly substantial margin. As just being charitable, I'd say Ossie maybe shared a couple of the rounds, but by no stretch of the imagination could he be a winner. Just simply hasn't done enough work. And that's Seldon uppercut. If he can deliver it with timing and accuracy, which he hasn't really managed to do in this contest, that could be quite a punch. Midway through this final session. And Bruce Seldon will have learned a few things out of this fight, I'm sure. He'll have learned he can't just go in there and bowl them over. He's got to work at these guys. They'll come much bigger, much tougher, and punch much harder than a 34-year-old blown-up cruiserweight. It'll be interesting to see Bruce Seldon in his next few contests, to see what lessons he's taken on board from a meeting with Ossie Occasio. Still looks fresh, still looking to throw punches. Not really putting Occasio under too much pressure. Occasio holding when he's in a bit of trouble, just making sure, grabs a breather, doesn't run out of gas. And it's a bit of a quiet, a bit of a tame end, a fairly tame contest, it has to be said. No doubt in my mind at all that Seldon's going to be the winner of this one, as the gum shield comes out again. Just be a few seconds left. It's Seldon's gum shield that's come out this time. We've seen plenty of gum shields in this contest. Only be 4 or 5 seconds left in the contest as Seldon's gum shield is rinsed off and replaced. Ossie lumbers out and throws the last punches of the contest as well, and the two men embrace. Occasio's come through his workout intact, takes the applause of the crowd. Seldon, unless there's a sensation, will take the verdict. And let's see if he has indeed won his 13th straight contest.
El juez David Nelson ve la pelea 78-74.
Well, Seldon looking a little bit anxious there. I don't think he's got too much to feel anxiety about. I don't think he lost a round in that contest. Let's see as we wait for the judges. Well, it looks like it's going to be a unanimous one. Yes, it's unanimous. And Seldon's got it. Well, that's all we have time for from the San Jose Civic Center. But we'll be back again next week with some more US professional boxing. Until next time, bye for now.